Howdy everybody, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to install some USB power ports inside the RV. Today's world is more and more about DC power than about AC power. Right now, the only thing I need AC power for on my RV is the air conditioning, and it's 96 degrees here today, so that's very important. And my microwave, which is kind of somewhat important. Everything else I can either run off of propane, or I can run off of 12 volts DC, or I can use a converter like what I'm going to show you in the video today to run off of 5 volts or 15 volts or 12 volts or 20 volts. Most of your modern USB-C devices have what's called PD, power delivery, and there's a little chip inside the connector that negotiates that I can receive power and how much power I can receive. So your laptop, for example, might take 20 volts at 130 watts. Your cell phone might take 5 volts at 2 amps. All of this can be negotiated through the PD system inside of USB 3. And so what we've got going on is my wife has a laptop, she has a cell phone, she has a smartwatch. I've got a whole bunch of ham radio gear that'll run off of 12 volts. I've got a laptop that'll run off of 20 volts USB-C. Anything else? What I don't have is anything that uses a straight up cigarette lighter plug anymore. That is a technology that has gone away a long time ago, and we have something much smarter. So today I'm going to get some devices and I'm going to plug them in and I'm going to show you how I do it. If you haven't worked with electricity before, be careful, use the shutoffs, take precautions, ask a friend for help, watch a couple more videos, but this is how I do this. Let's get after it. So in my camper, we have one of these charging center things, and it has one of those 12 volt cigarette lighter plugs that you can plug a cigarette lighter adapter in to charge stuff. And then it has a regular USB plug over here, but I'm sure this is 5 volt 1 amp and is not going to do anything useful. And then if I want USB-C, I've got to get one of these setups here where I plug it into the regular AC outlet. This is a MacBook charger, and then this here goes down to the Galaxy Watch that my wife has. So we've got the Galaxy Watch, the laptop, the cell phone, maybe something else. But the cool part about this is when we're boondocking, we're running off of battery, and these are dead, so I lose all the USB-C charging without having to get an adapter. I've got something for this. These here are the Magic. You can find these things on Amazon. I'll leave a link in the description down below. You get a couple of things inside. You get this nut here. You get a couple of these connectors here that you can crimp onto the ends, and then there are the power ends, different colors so you know what they do, and it's silver for positive and bronze for negative. And then if you look here, check that out, it's upside down. It has USB QC 3.0, which is your fast charging USB, and then it also has USB Type C plus PD. PD is power delivery, and depending on which one of these you get, there is a variety of voltages that come out of here, so you can charge your cell phones, you can charge your laptops, you can run a whole variety of things off of it. And it even has a little light up power meter and then a cover to hide it. Let's get these things installed, because it's really easy to install these. Inside this front bay here, there is a little modesty panel. I'm going to go ahead and get that removed. Just a couple of Phillips head screws here holding this thing in place. Now we have that panel removed, and you can see this is exactly what I was talking about. There is a set of positive and negative wires that come up here from the chassis, and then they hook onto these two terminals, and then from there they get daisy chained over to the second unit, and these guys here just screw on and screw off using those nuts that I showed you earlier. It might just be easier for you to remove that front panel also, and then you'll be able to pull those parts out. Let's get the next one in. If you guys had caught the last episode, then you know that my truck is in the shop with all of my tools in it, so we're gonna get about half of this job done. But this will be enough to show you how to get started. In order for me to wire in the second outlet, I'm gonna need a little bit of jumper wire and a set of crimpers. Jumper wire and crimpers are over in the truck. I only wanted to go in sideways. Well, sideways is better than not having any chargers, but that's a design flaw of this setup. This is cut sideways here and round here, so it only goes in one way. I'm going to put it in with the cover facing out, or if you don't like that cover at all, you can remove it and get a little tiny bit of space back in place. So we'll put that in place. We'll grab our retaining nut and we'll screw that down. And one of the other things that I could do, again, if I had my truck with me and had all my tools, is I could have made those holes a little bit bigger. Got that on, and then we need negative wire, and negative goes on there. And then just so I didn't short anything out, I put a cheap piece of tape over top of this connector to be safe. You can also throw your battery disconnect and be safe that way. But you can see it's on. And we've got 13.3 volts coming out of our battery. Perfect. And there she is, fully put back together on the inside. I'm gonna put that panel back on the outside, and that will call the job done. And that's us charging the laptop. You can see that it's pulling power out, and the onboard converter is putting power back in, and we are good to go. This is such a great idea that I am going to get a second panel and 2 more of these devices to plug into the other side so that I can enjoy some power as well. So stay tuned for a video on that coming up on the channel in the future, because we always need more power and better ability to boondock for longer. That job wasn't all that hard to do. The thing that made it the hardest to do was not having my tools, because my truck is in the shop. If you guys haven't seen last week's video where I detailed what went wrong with the truck and what we're doing to get it fixed and where we're stuck, take a look at that video. It's posted right over there. Otherwise, I'll see you in the next one. Have a great week.